Moneybag Joe. Moneybag Joe. Um, so he fell. He fell. Joe Biden fell trying to get up into Air Force One. It happens. The wind was blowing, is the official excuse. But he ate shit, man. Your thoughts?
Yeah. I'm just thinking now, but have you ever boarded a plane from the ground? You haven't, huh? It's always through the
No,
dumb little.
no, you're right.
So it's like I'm not defending the dude, but I'm just thinking now, like, damn, it's actually that's quite a climb, if you think about it.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Counterpoint. He has boarded a plane from the ground.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He should. He should. Yeah. He should know
Yeah,
more.
yeah. He's
No, and it wasn't everyone hating on Trumperino for like fucking like, oh, you fucking
and
loser,
I'll
you
get to
fell the
that. I'll
ramp.
get to
Yeah.
that. But they were just like,
Yeah.
fucking retard when like Trump tried it. And then like, fucking retard can't get up the stairs. And they're like, and then Biden falls. They're like,
Like, hang on. Yeah.
It's actually, check your privilege. It
Yeah.
is ableist to make fun of Joe Biden.
It's because his foot broke playing with Major, the dog, bro. It was a fucking
Yeah. And now his dog is stressed from that and now attacks Secret Service agents.
Joe's like, hey Pete, Mayor Pete, could you watch my shepherd for a couple months while we let things cool off? And
yeah, I'll watch it. All right,
like,
Joe.
Yeah,
I'll watch it. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll watch it. Slow cooker. Yeah. Smoker and a Traeger. I got a Traeger full of German Shepherd out here.
How did that joke start? It just came from, and then we came like,
just look at the guy.
Yeah,
dude, just look at the guy. Like he's either chewing wires underneath someone's desk like a mouse or eating dogs.
Yeah. Probably both.
Probably both.
Yeah.
From the 5 to the 6, we be in the mix with that rare candy paint job on the whip. I need food for the kids, money for the rent. Fuck a lockdown, baby, I can't do that shit. And I don't never vote, cause I'm fucking broke. And either way, I know the police ain't gon' leave me alone. On a plane by the visit Glen Rock, need crypto, told me I should bring the Glock with me. So I packed up my piece and I'm sliding. Cause we might get caught up in a riot. Middle finger Trump, middle finger Biden. Fuck a left, fuck a right, is you riding? Know you love to see it, dudes rocking. Ain't no politics, baby, we just talking. From the birds to the bricks, we be in the mix with that rare candy paint job on the whip. Who you with?
Yeah, so anyways, folks, today we're going to do a little bit of mailbag. We're going to do a little bit of Twitter questions, just something fun, like make our solo episodes really fun because we do have a lot of really fun guests on. Sometimes that gets a little serious. Sometimes it doesn't. It's always good. But yeah, so back to this Biden stuff. Yeah, I have a few things I bookmarked on it. Like you were saying, the MAGA guys are going crazy on it, and honestly, now's your time. Like do it. Like
you got it. Yeah,
how you do it. But this one, this one got me pretty good. This was not a MAGA person, but like this is like a person now because these people they vote for Joe Biden, right? They vote for Joe Biden, and all I heard was, look, we don't want him, but come on, we can't have Trump. We can't have that. So I thought for a while, like, okay, they're just gonna fall asleep during this 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then once the Republican wins after the, basically stagnation of all progression happens, which would happen and will happen during these 4 years or however many years it's actually Biden. But like they have to be on the Biden defense force this whole time, which sucks. It's like, dude, I wish you just didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
So like this one, right? At POTUS stumbles as he walks up the steps of Air Force One at Joint Base Andrews, Maryland for a trip to Atlanta. So this person says, Lord, I fall up the damn stairs all the time. Give it a rest.
I know it's coming next. Hang on.
3 tweets of Obama. Look at being able to walk. This is in June 14th, 2020. It's not even, I was thinking these tweets were from like 2012 when I saw them. At first, I was like, oh, this is just somebody pimping out. Like,
I mean, anything 5 years or older in the internet age is like fair game. It's fine.
Yeah,
I mean?
It's like what's that thing where you could sample like an old musician?
Oh yeah, there was like a fucking clause or something.
Where like you could sample like you can sample Beethoven and it's like
there's no one coming after you.
Gotcha. It's like that
something
thing.
like that.
But this is this show. It's just a compilation of like it's like Obama just walking without handrails.
Yeah,
which is funny because like couldn't you call that ableist? Like where you're like, wow, I value someone who can walk without handrails.
Well, that was the funny thing. Remember, man, this feels like a lifetime ago, but remember they had that picture of like Bernie taking the escalator and Warren taking she was just like walking up the stairs all cheerfully, and all those chicks, right, were just like, this is why we do what we do, and then and then and then like their own like little culture, they're like, actually that's able, so they all took it down. They're like, sorry, we didn't mean to assume that Bernie. So it's like, you're in your fucking prison, man. You can't even make fun of someone for taking the escalator without, you know what I mean?
During the Trump administration, when Trump was in power, like they couldn't just call him what they wanted to call him.
No.
Yeah, they had to call him like all these like stupid watered down like things they would force on you, like deceiving Don. You're like, what? Call him a fat fuck. Like, come on, I know you want to. You see the McDonald's stuff. I know
it's always it's always an alliteration. Yeah, like a double. Yeah, deceiving Don. Exactly.
Which is funny. And then that people. Of course, Biden's gonna get that. But like these people are so funny because they think Biden is getting unfair treatment from the media. Mm-hmm. That's what I laugh at the most. It's like, no.
How could you say that? Yeah.
Because any criticism is unfair, is what it is.
Yeah. When all those headlines, like a shower of cash in America's greatest like humanitarian presidential move of all time, CNN, you know, it's like the fucking COVID relief bill.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what?
No,
like,
you're 100% on point there. And like it's nothing. They could just be like, look, with the migrant facilities and things like people are just like, you don't understand, like you can't fix it in a day. And it's like, I think you could.
Well, that's the Glenn Greenwald take. He's like, oh man, the nuance comes like heavier than it's ever come before now.
Now you know what nuance is.
Exactly.
Yeah, now you know what it is. Like,
who built the cages, Joe? Who built the cages did? Yeah.
I mean, is that not the best critique? Like, why are you mad that I did this? Because I'm just building off what it would be like Obama criticizing the Patriot Act, which I bet you if you found debate footage of Obama, he probably was criticizing the Patriot Act, and he was like, this is the remix edition of the Patriot Act, and like he sped that shit up, chopped and screwed it. He made the Patriot Act all himself.
No, he's like, in the public, he's like, fuck this Patriot Act. In the back, he's like, yo, Patriot Act, we're cool, right? We're fucking, that's just so,
you understand this was CNN. Yeah, you understand. But
remember that shit came out of 9/11. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's like 20 years later. That's insane.
It's nuts. But then you got people like,
that's 2 decades. You hear about like, isn't it crazy? You hear about like in World War II, this happened. And then in the 70s, like that's our time frame, like those gaps are like, literally it's like Iraq War, 9/11 to now. We're still having this shit. Yeah. Anyway, go. What's this?
Nuts. No. So this was in the comments of something I found. Somebody, I think it was a Chrissy Teigen post. I see the ads are at Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen's original tweet was like, "Oh, who amongst us hasn't fallen upstairs? Like we could all love a relatable president." That was her like stupid thing about Joe Biden. Which, if it was Trump, she would have just flamed him. So this one, anytime you see waves emojis in the username, you just know it's a
what is that? What does that mean?
I think it's like a resistance wave. I think it's like blue wave. Like I think is what it
like Democrat.
Oh, buddy. It's
okay.
Yeah, a Democratic tsunami, if you will. And so this person says, to be clear, if Trump had tripped, I'd make fun of him. But that's because I hated him. He's a monster. I love our president, Joe Biden. I just hope he didn't get a scrape, a boo-boo. Is that fair? I don't know. I don't care if President Biden trails toilet paper. It's okay. So that whatever. All right, that's harmless on its own. D comes in. Let me tell you about D. D comes in and goes, completely agree. Completely agree. I read an article in The Nation a few months back that started out, quote, if Biden boiled babies and ate them, I'd still vote for him. End quote. And I said, yes, ma'am, as would I. And I don't care either.
They think that's like a normal take. Like that's some crazy.
I believe her.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude.
I believe
For
her.
sure.
That if Biden was
Yeah.
just like, if Biden just was like Campbell's Chunky Soup Baby edition, just like on TV, just shoveling
Yeah.
it down. Joey Chestnut hot dog July 4th fucking hot dog competition, just babies like
Yeah.
that. She's just like, well, yeah, but Trump.
We got to do it. Yeah.
There's a
It's
fucking Cheeto in the White House. You don't
fascist.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
Bro, it's
understand.
wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
that was the thing. I thought they were gonna go to sleep. I thought these fuckers were gonna hibernate for 4 years.
Like, who is that? Who is they, like what led them to this, you know? And I get like, dude, I totally, if you prefer Biden, like I understand a lot of people prefer Biden. I get that, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But it's like, damn, you don't have to do this. You don't have to play, you know, you
Just,
don't
just
have to
disappear.
Yeah, just
let me shout into the void.
Yeah,
that's all I'm
seriously,
saying. Like,
yeah,
stop.
that's hilarious, dude.
Honestly, stop engaging with me. If I make fun of Biden, just shut up.
Yeah,
You have the power. You have everything.
facts, dude. Yeah. Mhm.
Your agenda, the liberal agenda, is taken. I mean, it's in Hollywood. It's in everything. They've been in power even when Trump was in power. They had all the culture, right?
Mhm.
Look, I understand that the Senate, right, wasn't in the Democrats' favor and stuff like that, but now it is, right? Everything's in favor. They don't even want that on apparently. And why can't I just shout this shit into the void without these stupid fucking excuses?
Yeah, yeah.
That's all I want for these next 4 years. I like, look, I'm gonna do what I do, you know, and I'll get in. There's a few mailbag questions that I'm gonna do what I do, but like my critiques of Biden and shit posting Biden, let's just let it happen. That's a trade-off.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, this is all new territory for all of us. You know, it's definitely like an interesting time, you could say. And yeah, it's just, but at the same time, so predictable. You know, it's kind of wild how that works. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know, man. It's just so like that's dumber than any MAGA like religious kind of.
It's
offering.
that blue anon shit that they talk about on Twitter.
True.
Like, it's true. It's the same thing. If you went to somebody at a market or something and somebody was like, hey,
yeah,
like say you knew about QAnon, you're like, I don't want to associate with any of those weirdos. But then you go to the supermarket and some like person with like a Pod Save America shirt comes up to you and just goes like, hey, did you hear that Russia is responsible for all this kind of stuff?
Yeah.
And that President Trump is the one that actually planted the Me Too cases on Cuomo. And actually suppress the data, the Cuomo report, and you're like, okay, that's a conspiracy theory. Like, you're just masking. It's the same thing as QAnon, but it's validated. The problem is it's validated. They'll never, if it's validated by something bigger than them, they'll never ever be like, I'm wrong.
That's almost by definition what it is. And it's, you know what I realized like a couple years ago is everyone has crazy beliefs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has people believe crazy shit. Like, some people believe that we were able to vaccinate against the coronavirus when we've never been able to do that before in human history in a year, right? Faster than any other, you know, that's a crazy belief, right? That's crazy, but you guys believe it, you know. I won't try and not believe crazy shit. I'll just make the shit I believe that's crazy actually cool, like that aliens altered our DNA or something. That's my choice, you know? Yeah, it's like, I'm not gonna believe like if you only have that much RAM for the fringest craziest shit, make it count, you know. Don't make it some dumb like
I like
actually we can vaccinate for coronaviruses. No, actually it's cool. No, and it's like you chose that. Like you didn't even have to, you know, like at least
I gotcha. I know, I like that.
I feel the case is the evidence is stronger that aliens altered our DNA than fucking that we can vaccinate against the coronavirus successfully.
I do too. Don't tell anybody on the left on that though. I mean, let me tell you, because even the
man, that's so disappointing. It's like we're just homeless now. You know
what's funny about this last like episode we did. So I track it. I track our numbers and stuff. Like I'll track it. Like it got like the same amount of like traction, but nobody said anything. I didn't get one response on it.
Which one? Wait, with the vaccine?
The Serena one. Yeah.
Ha. So no. Oh, okay. So people are scared to. Yeah.
I think they're scared to say it was. Well, for one, I feel like the pushback. If we got like a bunch of pushback, people would be like, "Dude, what the fuck is this?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our numbers are up since we had her on the first time, right? Like it's almost triple at that point. So I just didn't. So I'm wondering, and I don't expect people to agree. Like I expect people to hear that and at least. But I don't listen over to our episodes again. Like after I get done putting them on the internet. But this one I actually listened to. I was just like, I'm gonna like listen to it and like, do we sound crazy to like? Because I have that switch where I can go like lib brain and hear something and at least like know that to a lib what does it sound like?
Yeah.
And I heard it, and I'm like, okay, they'll disagree, but we didn't sound crazy. So I'm just interested. I'm interested.
We made
in
our
learning.
case, dude.
It's twice we did, and so that was interesting.
And it's just, I don't know. It's just so, well, I remember being younger and like I always lean that way of, distrust in establishment, and not in some caricature kind of way or some kind of like fashion statement, but just as part of my being, and but you are, even if you believe something, you're scared to you're scared to even talk about it or be the odd one out,
Mm-hmm.
and then eventually you just kind of like that callus develops and you're like, I don't give a fuck, kind of thing. So it is like, yeah, probably 4 years ago, if I watched that episode on the outside, I wouldn't have said anything either. So I understand why people aren't.
Yeah, no, I found it very interesting because like I was expecting like a few people that maybe caught on since like the last 4 weeks when we've just had, political conversations, like maybe because there's a difference between, there's still a barrier between people who are like, yo, these lockdowns are bullshit, but I love this vaccine. There's still that take still exists. I don't like that it exists, but that's still a lot of people where they're like, okay, we have this answer now. And
because they see it as they're just opposed to lockdowns. Those types of people are more opposed to just the nuts and bolts of the lockdowns, and they want anything to get us out of it.
Yeah.
But the thing is it's worthless if you sacrifice your moral fiber to get out of a jam or something, right? Or to you're give an inch, they'll take a mile kind of vibe, right? And
do you think it's malleable though? Do you think there's?
Oh, of course.
I think so. Yeah. I think once you've understood this is bullshit, like the reason that we're here, I think you could move there now. I think that's reasonable.
I have no doubt that they're right, that the vaccine will lead to things opening up. But it's, for me, that's something I wouldn't concede. But they're not wrong.
It's not a bridge I choose to build.
And if you if you listen to them talk, they say a version of like, fuck it, I don't care, just like do it, but it's wild. It's I don't want to get out of order, but what's up with
don't get out of order, because that's the answer to a question. That's one that we had a don't
all right,
trust me, we're getting there. That's gonna be I just wanted to talk about one more thing before we got into the mailbag here. I found this very funny. This person, I respect a good grift, I'll tell you. Like
it's an art.
It's an art. Like if you do it and I see it just going smooth and nobody, I mean, this is harmful, I suppose. Like it's not great ideology, but I want to get this person's name right. But Saira Rao, I want to say is the name of this person. It ran for Congress a while back, and what she's doing is she's doing the let's make white women ashamed of themselves, which 99 times out of 100 I'm in. This time I'm not exactly sure. So this is her program. She's wants to do dinners, right, where her and her colleagues take white women out to dinner to just talk about a stern conversation for how bad their impact on race relations and white privilege are, and how they're complicit in white supremacy, right? So this is her like mission statement, I guess. Dear white women, you cause immeasurable pain and damage to Black, Indigenous, and brown women. We are here to sit down with you and candidly discuss how exactly you cause this pain and damage. The dinners are a starting point. I'll get to the prices later because it's a very expensive starting point. A place to start thinking through how you actively uphold white supremacy every minute of every day. What you do after you leave this dinner is up to you. Sincerely, Regina Jackson and Saira Rao.
I love that there's dinner involved. That it's got to be like food.
Have you seen these women? But nonetheless, except dinners are all at uncomfortable, intriguing, raw, personal, and hopefully refreshing. God,
all at once.
Why would that be refreshing?
Yeah, hopefully refreshing.
Yeah, like think of leaving that as a Yelp review. Found it uncomfortable, intriguing, raw, and personal. It's a very good place. 5 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. This isn't a delicate dinner conversation, nor are attendees sitting in the audience of a TED Talk feeling exempt from personal accountability. This is an intimate, direct conversation about how the white women at the table are complicit in continued injustices of our white supremacist society and how they can immediately take action. White women attending these dinners need to be committed to resisting white defenses.
Awesome.
Are you fucking offensive coordinator now? Yeah, we need to resist the white defense over there.
We're running a 4-3 Colonials.
Their linebackers are not heavy. We're just gonna run right at them, bully ball.
Yeah.
And the host is prepared to interrupt white fragility so as to not derail the conversation. So it's you can't say anything basically at this dinner that you're paying for. It's a new approach, and while it may not be for everybody, it fills an urgent need. Race to dinner. It's the dinner
urgent need.
Which sounds like there's gig economy involved in this somehow. I know there is. Race to dinner. It's like, oh, I'm an at-will contractor for race to dinner. Yeah. Yeah. No, I made $3.78 on this meal. No, there's a decimal point, not where you think.
Yeah.
And race to dinner has inspired white women to push harder than they ever knew that they could.
That's weird.
Hey, at the end of the day, right? We're fixing white women. Usually I'm for it. Look at these prices. Consult with both Regina and Syra, $600. Drop in the bucket. Consult with Regina, just $300. And consult with Syra, $300. Okay, I see how we got to $600 there. Consult with the resident white woman, $150. So
it's such a weird fucking thing, man.
They're gonna kill it. Is it plus the dinner? Oh, okay. Race to dinner. Okay, yeah. This person clarified. The person that posted this screen cap. This is a race to dinner. A white woman volunteers to host a dinner for 7 other white women, often strangers, perhaps acquaintances. Each dinner costs $2,500, which can be covered by a generous host or divided amongst guests. Okay, so the consultation's separate, I think, right? That's what I got from that.
Okay, so it's
right?
It's an add-on fee, yeah,
like $3,100 if you want both of them. If you're going all in, you're like, I want Regina and Syra. I can't one. Why would I just want to talk to one of them? and then
the funny thing, you can believe that like this isn't me or whatever. You can believe that white people suck and that there's hella damage that we have to atone for, and still think this is total bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
exactly. And what I find funny is like, can you imagine like if you're just like, look, I want to help and I can do the 25. I could probably add an extra 3 on there, but I can't get both of you to consult me first. And they're like, white fragility, it seems. And patting your pockets and shit, like getting extra money out of you.
We should raise the funds and get this to see what this is about. You know,
well, it's for white women.
I mean, we could get some surrogates or something. You know, like some
Papa John should do it in drag.
Oh God, that's the fun.
It's very funny, and but this is where we're at,
dude. It's crazy. I mean, well, I've seen her. Isn't she pretty like famous on Twitter or something?
Oh yeah, no, she's huge. She'll be like, she had one tweet I remember where she's like, if you don't like Indian food, that's rooted in white supremacy. It's like, I just laugh super hard. But you know what? Make money. Brooklyn Dad has a Patreon, which is hilarious. Like Brooklyn Dad has like 80,000 followers on Twitter, like 180 patrons. I looked at his Patreon, which is that's
dope, dude. That's so. I'm sorry, I can't.
Is it though? 180 patrons, and you have 80,000 followers. Like your shit is not banging.
That's a good.
Like
what is that? That's less than how many patrons again? It was
189 was what I saw.
That's like a 10th. That's like a 1/5%, right? Yeah,
it's not great.
I mean, well, I don't know. You could argue that's not bad compared to because Twitter is such a low information. Anyone can follow anyone. You know, like that's not a bad. Think about it, it's like a conversion rate. You know,
You're right. Yeah,
like
I
in email
suppose.
marketing, like I think like 1 or 2% is like fucking fire. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like,
What if you're
yeah,
signing up
but
for like Jeff Tiedrick and Brooklyn Dad Patreon posts? Like,
what do you
like,
get? Yeah, what do
you just gotta have a noose around your neck while you're reading that stuff. Like you're just like, okay, this
Yeah.
sucks. Pull the office chair out from under me.
I wonder if we know if anyone famous does it that we know or anything like you know subscribes. They're like click, you know, kind of yeah.
It's probably each other. It's probably
Yeah.
all the Trump people subscribe to each other's Patreons.
Yeah.
Like Eugene Goose like made 7 Patreon burner accounts to subscribe to Brooklyn Dad
Yeah.
and that. But
Yeah. Oh my god.
Eugene Goo.
Yeah.
But the
Damn, that's
MD.
crazy. So that's a good little chunk of change. Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder
so
how. I wonder what their
3,100.
schedule's like. Yeah.
3,100. It's funny it's not at a restaurant either. Like the
What
restaurants
if what if all the
restaurants
white?
like
Yeah.
the
What if all
restaurants
the
like
white
please
chicks
don't
are
have
nice?
any the restaurants like I don't have any we don't want to have white fragility at our place because actually nobody else shows up and 2,500 is not enough to
Yeah.
cover anything, so like they have to have it at some random person's house.
What's the food? What the kind of food do they make?
And
It'd be funny if it was just like Tex-Mex or something.
you're getting grilled like you're getting grilled by like Syra Rao about like
eating like cheddar cheese and ground beef
wearing
tacos.
box braids for Halloween, and all of a sudden the fajita guy, oh, do we have room for this? Can we create some room? Says Lynn right in front of you.
Careful, the plate is very hot. Dude.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, your hands are fragile. Let me tell you.
It's like a South Park episode, isn't it? It's so
yeah, no, seriously. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think on that note, let's get to the mailbag because that's
right.
that's perfect. That's
Get to the female bag, dude. That's what it should be.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
it's not the female bag. Let me
close,
tell you,
yeah.
buddy. I'm not gonna put. Okay. I did not put. So our world of Twitter is weird. Some people choose to be anonymous, so I'm not gonna read your name on here.
Beta. No,
I won't read your handle. How about that? I'll read your name, but not that because I didn't ask.
Yeah.
I don't. Some people want to lay low on Twitter, aka Mana Low T over here that wants to be locked on Twitter. I can't retweet him and stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you can't.
What the?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You can't. Yeah, but
I forget. Yeah, I don't know. I forget that I was even locked.
Yeah. Okay. So first question. HP Minecraft is the username. He says, "What is your favorite covert CIA FBI OSS operation?" And then he said, "Least favorite." You know what I mean. So I'll give you one. Recency bias on this one. Very recent, like this week. I'll say that much. Dr. John or Prime Minister John Magufuli. Have you heard of him? Tanzania.
Our boy? Yeah.
Our boy.
Look at that king, dude. Yeah. Fucking...
He got taken out this week.
Yeah.
It's February. So this is from Jeff Wells on Twitter. He says, February 22nd, and this is a report from a Bill Gates paid content in the Garden. Gates Foundation paid Guardian content here. It says, it's time to rein in Africa and Tanzania's anti-vaxxer president. Now, we've talked about John Magufuli on here.
Yeah.
He got the positive test on the papaya. I would play the video that you posted. It was really good, where he was just giving that speech. But it's not in English, so I don't think it would translate all that well. But he's dead now of heart failure. Just heart failure. Died of heart failure.
The classic, dude. Yeah, the classic.
Classic heart failure. 61. Okay, tell me right now. Let me zoom in on this guy. Heart failure? Disagree.
Look at that. Yeah, he's got the
Disagree.
fucking.
I see nothing but heart. I see nothing but heart.
Yeah.
With this guy. Not just looks fantastic.
Wait, what's that on the left there? What do we see on the left?
What's
global development supported by?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's pan up here. Zoom in here.
Oh.
Let me see.
Oh, you don't say well.
Global development is supported by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Why would they put that?
It's
like a sign.
They're doing Bill Gates is doing that R.I.P. Bozo meme where the guy's like at the funeral, like in the suit, like shout out to all that guy that died. He was a bitch. Like
yeah, exactly.
They're doing that to the Tanzania Prime Minister.
Oh my God.
He
That's
was anybody who didn't listen to the episode where we were repping him here, John Magufuli. he was a prominent COVID-19 skeptic, populist, right? COVID-19 skeptic and populist, you're done in Africa. Africa is like minor league baseball for the shit they test out here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they were trying to bring those vaccines in there. And I laugh too, because people think this like just started with COVID. You know, John was like, dude, I know what you guys do out here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I know what you guys do out here. Like, you guys do all this bullshit, this I don't speak English. Oh, I do. That's fine, type thing. And dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
He got a positive test out of a papaya.
No, that's what I'm so look what his crime was, proving that COVID testing is bullshit. Like that's what he did.
Dude, he took down PCR testing.
Does that make you a skeptic? Well, I guess in the traditional, yes, it does. It does. But we all should be like, shouldn't this guy be? They should be like making statues out this dude. Be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like,
I want a statue.
In any other like in any sane society, like the World Health Organization would be like, oh shit, our tests are wrong. Okay, we'll get right. They'd be, thank you, sir. Like,
yeah. But they're like, he said, what about the tests?
Yeah.
That's
dude. The fuck, papaya, motor oil, pawpaw. Wait, I think it's a different kind of fruit, like pawpaw or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he got everything to test positive for COVID.
Plot twist: the goat actually had COVID and he died from COVID. He got COVID. Yeah.
No,
dude, the dude's a king though. Like, the true
king.
hero.
So
name what besides like, I don't know. And I'm not even like into this dude or whatever, but besides DeSantis, like name one other guy that was like at that level that was chatting.
And I would say he was levels above DeSantis.
Oh, for sure, dude. Way before it was cool too.
Yeah. I would say he was levels above. And I don't like. Well, the thing is, like DeSantis. Okay, cool. Like it's cool that he kept his state open, but like, a lot of his stuff was like resistance to like libs.
Totally.
Magafuli's like, dog, I don't fuck with Bill Gates.
I got
this shit. Like,
I got I got some friends from Florida that are, and they will say, they're like, dude, that dude fucking sucks. Like he's like got all.
He's not good. People keep saying for president, it's like, stop. Let's not set the bar that low. Like, that you need to let us resume our lives.
Yeah.
Like,
no, but the Tanzania bro is just trolling though. He was just fucking he's trolling.
Dude, he was doing doing these speeches. They were electric. He was like doing these speeches where he was doing like push-ups and shit. And he was like, we're not gonna let COVID do this. And I don't know Tanzania's death number in COVID.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know what that was, but was it that high? I don't remember hearing about Tanzania like going crazy with COVID.
Like not really any Africa continent was hit too hard. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a Yakubian virus, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
What are you gonna say, right? And okay, so do you have any other? I was doing that as a recency thing. Do you have any other CIA things that you're big fan of? I mean, the classic Nazi scientists.
That's a good one.
It's a classic one.
Oh, you mean like the NASA and stuff, and
just basically making our science like Nazi science, but like in a woke way, basically, like to stop all these viruses and stuff. Like
the one that I had, or the couple I had in mind were my friend who I hope to get on the show, Jonathan, that's older than us, but
right
hip with this shit, and he told me this, and I didn't know he was. He's not even like. I guess he's like a conspiracy bro, but he's just more like a truth bro, more than anything. And he's a scientist too, but he's like, he told me one, and I didn't believe him at first. I was like, no way, dude. But he's like, yeah, did you know that, like postmodern art, like modern art, like Jackson Pollock and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Was a like the CIA, like he's like, I'm not saying that the art didn't exist or that the artists were fake or anything, but the CIA pushed that pretty heavily to like make like a meaningless art, without any emotional or like, spiritual connotation or whatever. And I was like, whatever, dude. And he's like, yeah, they did the same thing with Gloria Steinem and like first wave feminism.
We got to bring Adam Lehrer on to talk about that. That would be a really good conversation.
Yeah, totally.
Because he's just so into that world. Yeah.
But Steinem said she got grilled on it, and she said, she's like, I don't have a regret taking CIA money, and they do good work there.
Yeah, very fine people on both sides.
She's the original Jim Halpert. She's the original. Yeah, fucking.
She would have had an Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime them, and So
those are mine. When I looked into it, I was like, damn, there is something there. I watched that doc on. This is a little off topic, but the documentary we were talking on the journalists that got murdered by the Saudi Arabians, right?
Mm-hmm.
And recently, which I don't know too much about, but all I know is I watched part of the Amazon documentary, and Jeff Bezos is in it, and they're kind of painting him as like he was like a victim of some cyber attack or something like that. And the whole thing just like I don't, from knowing nothing about it and just knowing it was on Amazon Prime and it featured Jeff Bezos, I'm like, like
Yeah.
something's going on.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
available. Yeah, sure, I'll show
Yeah.
up.
It's not saying that the Saudi they murder this dude for sure. Like I'm not contesting that, but it's interesting. So anyway, that's all I got. But what's next?
No, okay, yeah. Next question. Thank you, HP Minecraft, for that one. So this one I'm gonna edit the question. This is from Liam. Shout out Liam. Nah, just okay. He said, "Worst microgreen you've ever tried?" I've never had a bad
Oh
microgreen.
shit!
I've never had a bad microgreen, so I don't know.
Worst one you've grown,
or even worse vegetable, dude. Let's talk about
Okay.
bad vegetables. That's what I was thinking. Like because I just haven't had I'm sorry, haven't had bad microgreen, especially the ones I've grown. They've been fire. I'm not gonna lie. The yield hasn't been great. I'll be transparent, but they've been fire.
Mm-hmm.
So worst vegetable. Like what's a vegetable you hate?
Eggplant.
You're not. Wow.
Eggplant. Yeah.
Do you know where I'm gonna go with that on some very personal information?
What?
Do you remember? Do you remember the eggplant dish that was served specially for
the Parmesan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to go into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was trash or what?
Okay. No. So, all right. It's gonna sound like I'm just backtracking here, but eggplant Parmesan slaps, and I rep it. That's the only way I'll eat.
Because it's basically like fry. It's a fried. Yeah. Gotcha.
It takes away all the.
Yeah,
you don't get it. You don't fuck with the skin. You don't fuck with it.
No, it's not good. I don't like eggplant, and I tried that, and I was like, this is actually fire.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. We won't give away too much personal information.
But no, I do got what else do I got for shitty vegetables?
Dude, I am not a sweet potato guy at all.
Disagree. Yeah, but I understand.
Oh, dude, I just like anything. Like
it's got its own thing going on.
Yeah, it doesn't like. I'd rather have squash.
See, squash to me is like it's more watery and not as tasty. It's not as dense. I like that density. Yeah.
Fine. Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Any other vegetables? Not a huge cabbage guy.
Depends. I like raw cabbage on tacos and shit. Like
that's okay. Yeah, that's okay for sure.
Yeah,
I'll give you that. Yeah, it's. I mean, I really
thinly sliced. A lot of things change. Like
yeah,
if you slice purple cabbage or red onion like micro thin, it's like totally different vibe. Yeah,
and I love beet. You know what I love is beets, and nobody likes them. Like dude, if you, I fucking love beets.
I like beets shredded in a salad. But I don't
Interesting.
Like them,
you won't
like
cube
them?
You don't like them cubed? You're cubed.
Nah.
Mark Cubed.
Yeah.
But cube.
No, they taste when you eat them in chunky, they taste like dirt. When you mix them with the dressing, they taste good.
I like dirt. I like vegetables that
taste
like dirt. I like that shit that tastes like it was fresh pulled out of the ground.
That's cool.
Yeah. Like okay. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So that and I'm gonna parlay off this question because there was another one, and this one's for you. I'm not allowed to answer this one. So this is from Mitch Smith. Mitch Smith says, and he's a vegan. I checked his bio. He's a listener. He said, "What made Cy go vegan?" Probably in the minority here, but I want to hear more vegan talk. Listen to this guy.
Okay, cool. Right on.
Yeah. Take it away.
It's one of those things that kind of it's like, why did you go vegan and why did you stay vegan?
Well, he's a vegan, so I feel like he's gonna know when you say the day you decided, hey, I'm done.
I'm being kind of weird about this, but I guess there are like a few answers, Well, first my brother was like trying it, and he was going like mainly plant-based, vegetarian, but vegan too, like kind of like basically vegan. He's like, yeah, I'm just trying it, He's like, George Harrison was pretty much plant-based, and there's all sorts of science behind it. I'm just giving it a go, and like I kind of followed him, and he kind of stopped doing it, but I kept going. And then also from like I definitely after I had like my first crazy mushroom trip, honestly, I was like I could never look at meat again the same or eat it, put it in my mouth.
What happened?
I don't know. It was just one of those weird. I changed.
Something happened during the experience.
Not even. It's just it was one of those after effects,
So when like if you're chewing flesh, you're like, this is fucked up.
Yeah, and it was just I don't know. It just had no like draw to me. And then and I don't know. A lot of people go back. They try it and then they go back. But I forced myself, not forced, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna eat meat to see if I feel magically better or if I'm missing something or whatever, And I did that like 5 or 10 times in the first couple of years, and each time I was like, it's like, okay, I'm not weird about it, I'm not freaked out or whatever, but it's just like not for me. But and then from there, Yeah, and I don't know, it just seemed, and then you fall into the whole thing with like the vegan thing. There's all the classic. It's kind of like being like a leftist, where you have like every fucking you have like every like point in your head down. You know all about the
Yeah.
Medicare for all. You know about the fucking billionaires.
Yeah.
You got like every little talking point down, and then like you kind of evolve, and you're like, okay, I still believe most of this stuff, but I don't believe the boilerplate line on I don't know, like college debt relief, for example, or this or that, or I don't agree with open borders, or just for example. I'm not saying that's me or whatever. But and vegan's kind of the same thing where you're like, okay, we got the environment, bro, we got the animal ethics, and we got the health. Like those are our three pillars, and like everyone knows about that shit. And then you kind of like evolve, and you're like, wait, I'm not like these other vegans. Like I believe some of that, not some of that. And so like a lot of people, they just kind of they become like vegan libs. You know what I mean? Where they just don't
Yeah.
think for themselves, and they'd have the boilerplate line, and you don't want to do that.
So what would you say that
Yeah.
that since your brain always being kind of anti-establishment, kind of anti-hive mind,
Totally.
whatever, you would say that made it easier for you to just be like, look, I don't know about meat, man. I don't know about animal, living off of animals. I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. But also, like I did this during a pretty hard time in my life. And like, I definitely like my health didn't improve. So I wrote it out, like the health thing. I can't say it was the health, you know what I mean? For me, because I do feel healthy now, and I do feel it was like a good idea over the long run. It is, if you figure out how to be plant-based, it is healthier.
You got to do it right.
You have to do it right.
If you do it right, I will never disagree with anyone who's that.
But I wasn't healthy for like years.
No, you were you were like 125 one time.
Yeah, yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, exactly. And you don't need to go through that. But but I was also using, it's like, smoking weed or something. You can use it to patch up other shitty things in your life, right? And you same thing. You could use it as an eating disorder, or you could use it as like a healthy thing. But but definitely, I just wanted to stop eating animal products. That was the main, simple. Yeah.
Respect. Yeah. Well, hey, that's our first guy that said like, hey, I like the vegan stuff. Keep going. So that's I always make sure to include it. So nonetheless,
thing is, like, a lot of people are anti-vegan because like they think it's some lib shit, and it for sure is. But like,
but a lot of things are lib shit. Though.
Yeah. But it's not going to stop. It's going to keep going. Like, there's going to be way more plant-based people in 50 years than in the next 5. And it's
100%.
It's gonna keep going, even if I'm not saying eating meat's gonna stop or whatever, but I don't know. That's my take.
Yeah, for sure. No, I've known you've been that way for a while, and I got family members that are, and even days where I don't even have meat stuff. It's nice, but next question. This is from Nova. I actually have a pretty good answer to this one. And it's, this is from Nova. Shout out Nova. He don't mind his Twitter on there at Nova Cummies. He says, what % gay would you consider yourselves?
100% minimum.
I knew you'd be higher than me, but the it is interesting. I obviously like I'm straight. Like I like women. I don't what's that, the lie detector's going off? What are you but no, the no, I do, I like women, but it's crazy. There was a time this question got me thinking like on some deeper shit, like when I saw obviously I know why he's asking us this question, like, hey, you guys are gay. 1000%. But the it was really funny. It brought me back to this, like, you ever have like something that's not meant to like do this, but like brings you back to like, here's when I was 14, and you're think in your head. So this is where that brought me, because like I was a late bloomer. Like I didn't like fully like become like a man when everybody else did. So like when I was like 13 and everybody else was talking about fucking, I was like, well, I don't really want to fuck yet. You know what I mean? I'm 13, and like, but everybody else was just further along, had hit puberty before me and stuff like that. So I had to be like, yeah, pussy. I had to be like that. Yeah. But like for a while, like that fucks you up a little bit, because you're like, am I gay?
Yeah.
Like, am I gay? And
it's like the classic Macklemore song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, me and Macklemore were like this, and
Yeah.
but in my head I'm like, no, but then now, okay, 1 year later,
Yeah.
like the Kickstart My Heart guitar riff comes in,
Yeah, dude.
like, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden I'm like, no, this is all I want. So like
Yeah.
it hit me later, but it was funny. But like as far as like percent gay, I don't know, but like it is very funny when you meet somebody that's so not gay and they can't even like admit when a dude
Yeah.
is like objectively good looking,
Yeah.
but they could call somebody ugly. If you can call
Yeah.
somebody ugly, then you know what's a man that's good looking
Yeah.
is.
Oh yeah, that's
You
a
know
for
what I
sure
mean?
thing. It's
Like, yeah,
yeah,
you
you're
can't call
hiding
somebody
your
ugly unless you know what a good looking man looks like, right?
Yeah,
So,
totally.
like,
Yeah,
and like women are so open about it. They're like, oh, she's hot, and she's not. They're not
totally.
lesbian at all. They're just like, oh, she's hot.
Yeah.
You know, and like for me,
Yeah.
I'll just be like, oh, Christian Bale, American Psycho, yeah, that's peak male physique, like no problem.
Yeah.
Like so that question made me laugh when I
Pete
saw it.
Buttigieg, like peak male physique, you know,
Yeah,
just fucking yeah, dude.
Chaston.
Yeah, Chaston.
Guy
Yeah.
personally,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
that's exactly
No,
it.
it's a definitely yeah, it's like come on, like I don't know. There is this weird I think there is this weird like just like, being there, that whole there's like the SJW angle of like everyone's queer. You're it's like
Yeah.
and all those articles like white dudes, you should really try experimenting, like taking it
White
in the
dudes
ass.
don't
I
put
don't
things
know.
in their ass. It's like,
Yeah,
yes, they do. Have you seen Steve-O? Have you
Yeah.
seen Steve-O before? Have you watched Jackass? White
Yeah,
guys
dude.
put everything in their ass.
Yeah.
Like, what are
It's
you
like, come
talking
on. Yeah. So it's like, yeah. And I feel that's like that could be some dumb like psyop shit too. But at the same, it's like, come on, like, yeah, you gotta fucking come on, we're all human,
Just be you. Don't be
Yeah,
scared.
dude.
Don't be like,
Yeah.
anything like that.
I'll say like we had gay stepdad on. That makes us gay, right? Like, come
Oh,
on, like
100%.
yeah,
No,
exactly.
hey, I'm gay adjacent. Like, I think the gay people are the best posters on the internet by far. Like,
Yeah.
gay men. Like, it's not even
Totally.
it's not even a thing. Yeah, but yeah, no, that question it wasn't even. I mean, like I know why that question was asked, but it like made me flash back to this shit. Like when I was like in that in between age where I didn't develop as fast as people, and I'm like, oh fuck, am I gay? Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was interesting to me. So the next one, who's better prepared to survive a zombie apocalypse, Glenn or Cy? What do you think? You could say you because I think it's you.
Yeah, I think it's me. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not. I've watched every episode of The Walking Dead. I'll say that.
I've played the casino game, so
tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foiled again. Sorry.
Yeah.
But,
I love zombie shit. I'm obsessed with zombie stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, I feel like when you're vegan, you can survive anything a lot more. I will say that much.
I'm definitely more equipped to miss food for longer than most people.
You're wearing a camo hat right now too. That's not helping my case at all. Here's my counterpoint. I think I can outrun you distance wise.
For sure. Yeah. Especially now. Yeah.
If zombies are just not quite as fast as humans.
Yeah.
I think I might be able to at least escape to the province.
Yeah.
That I need to go.
Yeah.
Thing is I can't leave my family behind, so I probably wouldn't even be able to do that. So
yeah.
That's my only thing. No, 100%. I was like, it's you. So that's quick answer.
We got a cabin in the woods.
That was organized meat. Shout out organized meat with the question there. That's a heavy question. I don't want to get no, I mean we will, but it just we're having fun now. Next one from Comrade Taguro. Shout out Comrade Taguro. And what do you and this is going to be a question for you. What do you guys think will be the state of crypto in 5 years and then in 10 years? So I guess, on the in the world, I suppose, like its actual use rather than just a tradable item as it is right now. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there'll definitely be, everyone will have some kind of dumb shit on their phone, some kind of decentralized finance thing that'll still be all backed by, it'll still have some institutional support or some mainstream like Robinhood vibe, right? And yeah, I mean, I think in the next 5 years, there's definitely going to be a giant wave of Bitcoin and the top altcoins. And then probably, I think we'll see, like, if I had to put on a chart, it would just be like huge hill up from where we are now, plateau, maybe like a crash, and then, just up from there. basically. But the thing is in terms of coins, you know, most projects, it's one of those weird things. Like there's always energy and there's always turnover and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, and new money coming in and everything. But most of the projects will die. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like most of the old altcoins are on their way out, right? And then there's new stuff. And then there's always new stuff. Stuff just gets built, and then Bitcoin and the Ethereum will be the main ones, the pillars holding it together. But I don't know. I'm not the best guy to answer like crypto questions because I'm not like a I know
Yeah,
that's
we
in my
need
name
to
or
get
whatever. But
That Jeff Vandro guy on, the guy who does the Bitcoin IRAs. We need to get him on.
oh yeah, for
That
sure.
guy,
Yeah,
that guy's really good. I think what this question is asking is like, as far as like human day-to-day life, like say maybe going
yeah.
to a store, like do you think I'll be able to like
hmm
scan my phone QR code, some Bitcoin in to pay for,
Yeah. I
you
mean, you can
know,
already do that some places, but yeah, I think so.
but
Yeah,
like to buy a couple swishers, you know what I mean? Like
for sure.
you
Yeah,
think that'll be like within the next 5 or 10 years?
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
Yeah, I think so too. I think within the next 5 years you're gonna see a lot more. I mean, I would honestly even say in the next 2 years, like
Yeah.
you could see places
Well,
I think Amazon will start taking Bitcoin soon. I think.
they already have exchange like like exchange type things where they're beta testing debit cards, for where you could pay
Oh,
you
that's
could pay in any
sick.
you could pay in any crypto you want, but it's just they just do the dirty work, and flip it around and all that stuff. Yeah.
I wonder what kind of fee would be attached to that.
Yeah. I don't think as high as I think that I don't know. But
Interesting.
yeah. But I'm
Okay.
just I don't know. I'm just interested in like trading
Yeah, yeah. No,
today and shit.
I see
Yeah,
what you
but
mean.
yeah.
So, let's see. Let's go to the next one. Oh, this is from Steven Ramos. Shout out Steve. He said, "When you guys moving to Austin?" That's just a question. When are you guys
Damn.
moving to Austin? I'm
We're
down.
live streaming from Austin right now.
Yeah, I would love to
It's
be in
fucking
Austin. I would love to be anywhere
I,
other than the Bay
I,
Area right now.
I've never been to Texas besides the flight layover.
Yeah, I've been to the part where you could even like, this is back in the late 90s when you could actually just like walk into Mexico whenever you wanted to, and back and forth. It
Tight.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Then it was in McAllen, Texas, which is right on the border, and you can go to Reynosa, Mexico, right there. But no, I mean, to answer this question on like a broader perspective, like California's not doing so hot right now for me personally. Like where I'm just like, dude, I don't.
Man, so many people feel that way, huh?
No, it sucks, dude. Like just doing anything is a chore.
Yeah.
Is a chore, man. Like it
I feel it.
sucks.
Yeah.
Like just doing anything, like going into these places where you have like plexiglasses, like fucking hockey stadium
Yeah.
around you, and like
Incredibly dumb.
yeah, it just doesn't do it for me, man. Like
Yeah.
and just the overall vibe, like you go out, nobody's social with each other, like
Nah.
nobody's anything, and I always hated the other end of the spectrum where you like being like Kentucky and like people would talk for hours,
Yeah.
and you're like, dude, okay, I just want to go along with my day.
Yeah.
But it's like, can we have that medium again where it's not just some
Yeah.
like you go to Whole Foods, dude. You go to Whole Foods out here and it's all just Amazon Prime shoppers around you. Like fucking like
Yep.
it's the scariest thing, dude. Like
It's
honestly,
weird, dude.
like I
Yeah.
thought one lady worked at the place and I was like, hey, dude, and like she just I swear to God, if I was standing in front of her cart, she would have just bowled me over with it. It was just like oh, nope, sorry, just like
Damn.
Tiananmen Square with a tank.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, just,
yeah.
like she would have got
But
me.
it's a cart full of macaroons. and
Yeah,
shit.
just a car full of
fucking-
Annie's fucking graham crackers. Just,
Yeah, dude, yeah.
crushing me with that.
Yeah, it's just getting weird. I don't know how. What is going
It's
on?
Bugman capital, California, New York.
Dude,
It's
it's
Bugman East,
crazy.
Bugman West. That's all it is.
And how the fuck, I got people in my family making like six figures that can't afford a home and shit. They're like two
Yeah.
income earner households. I'm like, what is going on, dude? Like, it's so wild. What is happening?
The housing
Yeah.
market's terrible. And
Yeah.
I'll get to that in the questions later. The housing market's terrible. Like it's not good. But we'll go to the next one. Steve, I don't know. I'd love to go to Texas though. Steve, we'll rock out to Austin, maybe South by Southwest sometime or something.
Yeah.
Like whenever that gets back up. But this one comes from Carlos Bloom. And it's funny because this guy didn't follow the account or anything. He just hopped in the thread and asked this question. And I thought this question was weird because it's like you had to have heard of us talking about this for you to ask this question. So he says, Will you agree that wearing masks, while an inconvenience, saved lives and allowed us to recover our mental health in the long run? He
Mental
said
health?
so hey, I'm not he said thank you, be well. That's what he said. That was so I look, this was asked in good faith.
It's respect. Yeah.
I'm not gonna be mean. I'm not gonna be mean. I disagree, but go on. You go first.
Well, that's what's so weird to me is like you just got to examine the evidence and the I've never like I get the theory behind masks. I don't like it makes sense. Like
Yeah.
if you have one person wearing a mask, the droplets aren't coming out of their
Projecting.
mouth,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. And if you have two people without a mask, it's like a two-way filter. Your odds of a droplet touching one or the other go way, way down, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get it in theory, and I was never anti-mask. Like throughout most of this whole thing, I was like, I'll wear it. I don't want to be a dick. I don't want to make people feel bad. And I never believed that all that dumb, like, I don't know, maybe there's some truth is I don't think the whole like, oh, you get less oxygen and it's all germy and that's what gives you coronavirus. I'm like, no, that's dumb. Like
I
wearing a
don't.
mask.
Yeah, that didn't
Yeah.
make sense to me.
Yeah. I was like, that's just some dumb like shit. But then what matters with human health policy and epidemiology is like when the rubber hits the road, right? Like what the real and like the mask mandates don't seem to be doing much at all. And then people say, well, that's because people are breaking the mandate. They're not wearing masks. I'm like, that's not true. Like everyone's wearing a mask,
Yeah.
Everyone's wearing a mask. America has some of the highest mask compliance in the world, like which
Yeah.
is a fact that shocks people, like more than Europe, more
But
than
our media will never say that. Our media will
no.
always say, and I don't mean to interrupt you here, but our
It's
media will
yeah,
always portray it as like nobody wears a mask here and
yeah.
everybody's going on vacation. Everybody's doing this. It's like, dude, if I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, my cat just jumped up from the fucking
Yeah,
from the
no,
nether regions of the fridge.
the crazy
But
thing about it, you get these. Okay, here's the thing. Why is it that any science that comes with COVID, even when cases go down, the science leads to more restrictions, right? You have to understand that, like, okay, right now cases are lower right now.
There's no milestones. There's no like when we hit this
Yeah.
milestone, we can start to open things back.
So not
up,
even that, right? So let's say
Yeah.
masks did work. Why did they go to double masks?
Yep.
Right. I'm not saying that's being implemented. It's not mandated. I understand.
Fauci went from 0 to 2.
It went from
Real
zero
quick,
to 0 to 2, and then Fauci said the word real quick, not me.
Yeah.
And but the I don't know. Like if masks worked, why'd you go to 2? And if masks work, why wasn't everything open?
Yeah.
That's my other thing. If masks work, everything should have remained open, right?
And I totally reject the part of the question, did it improve our mental health? The opposite.
That I disagree with completely.
It dehumanized us completely. And
dehumanized us. And you actually see articles now. I just saw this in Denver, one of their local news thing. Denver has a thing where mask anxiety, so where like say you're vaccinated and now you're cleared by the government to go out to a bar again, there's this thing they're warning you about of mask anxiety, which I completely agree will exist. If you wore it religiously for a year and then stopped wearing it, of course when you go out in public you're going to be like
about this.
And like of course that's going to happen. So I'm saying no, here's what you did. You bought things on credit, right? What you did was you changed your entire life for a year or even more. I don't buy that these people are going to just stop wearing masks. Some of these religious mask wearer people and religious stuff, I don't buy that they're going to stop. But what you did was you bought it on credit, and it's like when you have anxiety, right? Because this is what he said in the question was anxiety, and this is somebody I have with it. If you don't gradually peel off layers of your anxiety, it's a snowball effect. It grows very big, and you are going to be eventually put in an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
Where you have a fucking meltdown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
And if you're not, and I mean this literally, peel off the layers, because now they're double masking, peel off the layers. And so what I'm saying is don't. I think this basically just bought anxiety relief on credit, is what it did.
Yeah. Well, think about it this way: like we're the most overprescribed, anxious humans to likely ever exist in modern human history, and we did this crazy year-long mask mandate for like a virus and all this shit. So it's like perfect storm, right? It's kind of a crazy ass thing. It's like And yeah, I've thought about it too. Like, not even like, well, my whole thing is like walking. I've alluded to this on the pod before, but like, 80% of people, like, 10% of people are anti-mask, like vigorously in any scenario. 80% just go along with it. They're like, whatever, I don't care. But they don't really think it's protecting them or anything, right? They're just like, I'll just do it for the social thing. And then the other 15 or 10 or whatever are like religious anti-max or anti-religious maskers. But it's great when you're walking down the street, you can never tell that, right?
Yeah.
And unless they tell you if they're pro-mask, and and then you'll hear about it. But and like I've walked past people with my mask down and they don't have one, and then like they'll be like, should I cross the street? They're all like
Yeah.
freaking out and stuff. And they just go like, hey man, what's up? And so many people have been like, they'll like beam, dude. They'll be like, oh my God, like a fucking normal person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's crazy. We can never tell looking at someone where they stand on the masks.
Yeah.
So and I'll be honest, dude, I'm a street crosser. I see someone like fucking 4 blocks down. I'm like, but that's not healthy. It's just weird how, we all have to, well, I'm in Portland. Everyone's crossing the street, dude. No one's walking past each other. And that's fucked up.
I see that a lot too. And I work, like I said, in road construction, so I see it a lot. Like, what'll happen is like we'll have everything reduced down to one lane. So like on a sidewalk, you'll see one person walking their dogs one way, and then you'll see on the same sidewalk somebody coming the other way. That person on the sidewalk will go into the one travel lane, where cars are actively passing, in a construction zone, rather than walk past somebody on the sidewalk.
Yeah. It's funny when both try and cross. Like you start to cross and then you see them in the street.
Yeah,
they
do the Deion Sanders primetime move, like with the shoulders. And so I didn't want to spend too much time on that. But like I said, if you trust the PCR numbers, you trust all that kind of stuff, of course, like I understand why you're gonna say maybe mask temporary relieved your anxiety. But again,
you have to believe a lot of bullshit to
that always
believe,
gets collected. That always gets collected. That's all I'm saying. You're eventually, society is going to resume, and you're going to have to, you're just going to have to be okay with that. And I think there's going to be a lot of these think pieces written about maybe we should open a little softer, maybe a little more soft opening, and because this is scary to people. So that's all I'm saying. So I didn't want to spend too much time on that because I have a couple more I want to get to. This one, Kurt Ramos, he asked us a bunch of questions. He asked us about like 4 questions. I think a lot of them kind of go on the same line, so I'm going to read through them real fast. He said, do you guys think that working class and poor people become class reductionists by default, given material circumstances, or would that inaccurately be ascribing essentialism to them? Okay, which I think I can dumb guy that question basically to saying, do you think working class people when you're low, maybe blue collar, low wage and stuff, do you think they're naturally class reductionists? That's what he was saying. And then I'm going to paraphrase his 4. He says, how can we get more proletarians engaged in the class struggle when it's arguably imperative that we demystify the lens of class in the midst of hypernormalization, ongoing pandemic? I think I get what he's saying. So I'm going to dumb guy that question. Basically is, do you think working class people by design are class reductionists? And do you think, how do we get back to class structure in the midst of this pandemic and the intersectional craze and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So I'll start with that one, because I think, yes, I do. I think a lot of working people, I won't say class reductionists, but I think they understand that they're poor, right? I think they understand they don't have what they need. Do they buy into a little bit of the identity stuff? Of course, right? You're always going to look at yourself in the mirror and identify what you are. I don't even think you have to go as far as to rid yourself of race, rid yourself of everything. No. But to get people back into it, and this was something that I saw from, I'll call her out. I'm not going to lie. It's like Amy Therese, was saying, with her, I guess I could say is like kind of just an anti-union take, where she was saying like, look, only 6% of the public or private sector is union. Like unions are basically just a vehicle for the Democratic Party and stuff. I still think I want to talk to her about this one day. So I don't want to go too crazy if she's not here to respond. But normally I agree with her a lot on a lot of stuff, but this one I thought she missed the mark on big time. I think we have to basically make unions stronger to get working people any kind of power. I think we're going to have to. I understand that a lot of people who've been scorned by the left might think of unions as this utopian thing that's over romanticized by the left stuff. All of that's true. They do. They think unions are like this crazy, like everybody's whistling at work every day, like Snow White when she's fucking making the bed and stuff. It's not true. Still hard work. People are frustrated with their unions. That's true. But unions, in my opinion, are a vehicle. They're a vehicle that has a key that can be driven by anybody, right? So if we get this class-based politics infected around the union, like an actual pandemic, right? Just infect our unions with like actual class-based politics, get the shop stewards in on it, get the reps in on it and all that stuff, because a lot of those guys are from the unions. And one thing Amy Therese was doing, I thought she was kind of focusing on like PMC unions, like kind of labor unions, like actual manual labor. In the manual labor district, I think you can get a lot of people in the right places in these unions and really start getting material gains for workers. So I think once these workers start seeing material gains from this organization within those unions and really starting to get that percentage up of private sector, because I agree that that's not enough to actually do anything. Once we start, supporting these Amazon unions and stuff like that, once we get the solidarity amongst these unions, I think we can actually start seeing material change. So that's just for me.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think that people, I think that's fucking obvious that people, even beyond identity, just
they look at their bills. They look at their bills every month. Yeah.
There's been this way for all of human history, where people just are more like people with closer to people with the same economic status as them,
Yeah.
That just seems so self-evident and obvious. And and it's funny because it's the last thing that we address, and it's the last thing that anyone in power is willing to concede, is class-based struggle.
Well, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the one thing I wanted to say to Amy's take, that if the left like unions that much, then why do actual like Amazon push back against their unions, right? Like you don't have an answer for that. They would welcome the unions in if they were an actual vehicle for the Democratic Party. Right. There's obviously a sacrifice that the elite have to make to appease union labor, right? And if you got rid of labor unions, again, I want to talk to her about this. I would love to reach out to her and talk about this. But
how do you DNC proof a union though? That's the thing.
You have to infect it from the inside. You have to to have your shop stewards basically convince union workers to hold their vote hostage.
Yeah, which is not a thing anymore.
And I'm sorry, like here's the thing. Is there a strong percentage of that happening? No, but none of the strategies I see from anyone have a strong percentage of happening. But I guarantee you that taking over one of the two big parties is a way more of a pipe dream than taking over unions.
Yeah.
Right. And unions and then expanding, having that shit catch on like wildfire. Right. Yeah. Catch the liberals in that weird ground where they're like, I don't want to be anti-union, but I also don't want any of this to happen. Sure. I'm sorry. That's a vehicle. I don't believe either party can be a vehicle that's driven with like this universal key. Right. I think that unions can be driven by anybody. Right. But I think these Republican and Democratic parties, they can't be driven by anyone except for like somebody that comes from this political family, somebody that comes from this lineage. They have that special key for it. It doesn't work. So I agree. I agree with her critique on it. I just don't think that going full right to work and whatever is going to work.
Yeah.
So that's just me. I don't know. I had a lot to say on that. So I'm sorry if I cut you off there.
No. Well, I mean, Amy's cool, but when she has a take and then people like call her retarded and then she digs in, that's her thing, rather than having like a conversation about it.
No, and the people supporting her and the people that come to her defense, I'm like, make sure you know what she's saying first. That's all I'm saying. If you read don't defend the person, and that goes with us. Like if you don't like us, but say you love this podcast, say you love listening to it, but if you just vehemently disagree with something that we said, then you disagree. That's fine. Yeah. Don't defend me on it.
It'd be weird if you didn't disagree.
Her whole thing was kill your idols, right?
Yeah.
Kill your idols, the whole Michael Brooks thing, all that kind of stuff. And I agree with that. Like when in journalism, don't stand politicians, don't stand journalists, don't do anything. They're here to serve you. They're here to give information to you.
Yeah.
But what do people do when she's being under attack?
Yeah. Idol. Yeah.
Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about anybody particular. I understand. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I don't think her critique I think her critique is good. I don't think her solution's good at all. So
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying. And to answer Kurt's question, I just think it's start within your workplace. That's where you spend the bulk of your awake days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or your actual cognitive awake days. Start there. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Union members, right? In labor unions, like actual manual labor unions, you got MAGA, all that kind of stuff. Even the most MAGA people in the world will die before you take away their union benefits.
Yeah.
So there is a common ground on that. So
yeah,
that's all I'm going to say. So just real fast, we are getting long on time here. We've got 2 more questions here. This one this is from Instagram here. That's why I'm reading it off my phone. This is from Pancake Dinner. I think he's on Twitter too. I can't remember what his name is, but if you could wave a magic wand and were able to enact your political agenda, where would you start and what's the prescription for everything?
For me?
Well, yeah, you can answer first.
Yeah, I would do.
Where would you start? Where would you like? How would,
I would do Indian subcontinent and African continent to counteract all the fucking neoliberal Gates bullshit. First and foremost.
So you'd start at the African continents. Okay.
Yeah, just to put a stopgap on all that neoliberal Gates bullshit, because that stuff is gonna slip through the cracks so quick, and all the fucking AOC is gonna be down, all the liberal leftists are gonna be down with it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be the most anti-left shit to ever happen.
Well, and what
basically.
stuff do you mean? Do you mean testing medical stuff? I mean, where are we
at? Yeah, the whole. Well, I'm coming from food and agriculture background more than anything. That we're gonna transfer our failed experiment of growing, not even just GMOs, but just our style of agriculture with, cut, burn, and poison, bleach the land, all that stuff, which is wreaking havoc on American soil already. We're going to export that whole system to them, right? When they already have a rich agroecology tradition, which is a good word to check out, agroecology, if you don't know about that, is, and it's all going to be, you think Gates is like, it's scary that he owns all the fucking American farmland. Wait till he owns the whole world's farmland. So I would start there for sure. And they have far less. It's far easier to. Okay, what am I going to say? There's a pipeline that exists, right, from the like bright, smart people in those cultures in India, in Burkina Faso, in Ghana, or whatever, right? They're smart and they're bright and they're good at school, so they end up going to neoliberal American institutions to bring back the propaganda with them. It's not their fault. I'm not saying that they're dumb or they're easily swindled or anything like that. Same thing happens to everyone all over the world. But for some reason, that's the only pipeline that exists. There's no dissent.
It's interesting.
It's only the peasants that are often wiser, right? And they know what's up with their land, what's up with the Indian bro that
the farmer,
that's the world rice yield record. So it's so I talk about it from an agriculture perspective, but it applies to all of it, kind of thing. Yeah. And so that's my
Okay.
Yeah, America. Don't waste your magic on America.
And to be honest, I disagree. I mean, not disagree. Obviously, everything you said, I agree with. But like for me, I mean, I guess my answer is the same as what I just said. Like we have to be strong as workers, because again, if we're gonna spend the bulk of our time at work, we need to win at work. We need to win.
That's the battleground.
That's the battleground. And I agree with everything he's saying, but I guess if I could wave a magic wand, it'd be to get rid of the gig economy.
Yeah,
that'd be my number one thing, because every time, like the thing about capitalism,
I wish we had Mac Dre live long enough to create a mixtape called The Gig Economy, dude.
I mean, he would have. It would have been it. Just him with a DoorDash full of pills. And it would have been awesome.
Yeah,
Uber driver just ghost riding outside of an Uber.
He's got the phone holder and the Mercedes Benz.
Would have been unbelievable. Unbelievable content. But no, what I like, just getting rid of the gig economy, because what I hate about capitalism is that the arguments of capitalism is that it creates this high ceiling, that innovation and anybody who's actually smart can be rewarded for their crazy contribution to society, and the government can't tell them how much money they can make. But it's also the government, like this minimum wage stuff, dude, like the gig economy is a basically a loophole, like a roundabout way of getting around minimum wage. Like, so, and what sucks is that, and that's why I've always been pro raising minimum wage, even though there's a lot of people like, you know, I'll say it post left, I guess, that'll just be like, that's gonna, you know, transition to a gig economy. It's like, dude, minimum wage, they're already pivoting past the 7.25 minimum wage or whatever federal minimum wage. They're already going to do that. You might as well take the 15 while you can. So there's that, but it creates this new floor for like the wage you can make. It's fucked up. Like you can, it's terrible. And to get rid of that, like I said, we these people have been beaten down into the ground. Like California passed with flying colors, like Prop 22, to just basically, and like that, a lot of that involved workers voting against their best interest. So when you beat somebody down, you hear this happen with slavery all that time and stuff like that. When you beat somebody down to a pulp, like they're probably going to adopt almost Stockholm syndrome to type thing, where like they're going to just start like, okay, this is the master, this is the person. Like, I just want to survive. Like I didn't die yesterday in my gig economy job. So today, I just still want that gig economy job. Exactly. It didn't kill me yesterday. So that's where that is. I want to get rid of that. That's if I had a magic wand, I'd get rid of that. And for prescriptions, dude, honestly, like, I hate to say it, but we're just gonna have to. You have to do like a general gig economy strike. You have to do it. Stop fucking feeding the bug, man. This is what you're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to pay a living wage for that shit. Like, it sucks, but I don't know.
I like it.
Last question. We're definitely running out of time here. And this one is about censorship. This is from King Toucan Fab. And he says, is on Instagram, says, what similarities and differences do you see with the big tech self-censorship and the current wave of anti-free speech bills passing in various states? The similarity is that I think it's the same people.
I don't get the question. It's like,
I don't think he's asking in bad faith. There's no difference. I don't think there's any difference. I think private companies control censorship now, and the government is a slave to private companies. And that's where conservatives with their free speech arguments are so fucking stupid. Like, is the well, Twitter is a private company. It's like, well, why do you think your account just got banned, you fucking idiot? Like you didn't say anything that benefited capital, right? At the time, like to be pro Trump did not benefit the state of capital. Like you look at now, what now is benefiting capital is not. It's woke stuff, you know, and that might change in a few years. It might be something else. I don't, when people think we're anti-woke or anything like that,
it'll evolve.
It'll eventually become like, maybe it'll be a hard conservative repivot in the next 4 years. Like, it might happen, whatever it is. I'm still against it. But it is the same thing. You see these people, these states like Nevada, we talked about this with Doomer, I think, where Nevada has these is proposing these tech ownership of land where you pay a subsequent tax to live in big tech country in Nevada.
Like indentured servitude.
Exactly. Like how the British pay taxes and they pay the royal family taxes too. Like shit like that. And again, like, how is that a strong government? That's just a strong government bowing to private companies, right? So when you say you're scared of private company, or you're scared of government overlay, these private companies have been stronger than the government for a long time.
Don't fight the right target. Don't get lost in the weeds, and like don't have your political enemy be like 1.5 decades in the past that doesn't exist anymore, you know. And things evolve and change, and it's you gotta, and if you try and be partisan with this stuff, you're gonna get washed out, you know.
You have to look at it objectively. There's no political thing to it. It's can I say what I want? No. Okay, why? And is it the government? Which, you could say that the government is definitely helping these private companies out. But look what an AOC got attacked, right? Or, you know, quote unquote attacked and stuff. Who did she go to first? Apple, Parler, Google Play.
Damn,
all these people. She went straight there, right? Man. So to say who's what do you think of the similarities and differences? There are none. The state differences are going to mirror private companies' requests.
Exactly.
It's that simple. And big tech is cancer. It's more cancerous than any American government force, Republican or Democrat, in my opinion.
Seriously, facts.
Shit, that was the mailbag, man.
That was good. That was a good first one, man. They can only get better from here.
I do them a lot for my Raiders show, so like I'm a mailbag veteran, if you will. So like I do that I've never done it for non-Raider stuff, so that was cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
Cool.
yeah, no, that's all we got today. So appreciate everybody for listening.
Thanks for the questions. Yeah.
So
That's
thanks
cool.
for the questions. We're gonna try to do this. I like to do a solo every so often. I love having the
I
great
like the
guests
mix of serious and
funny. Yeah,
retarded shit.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do. A lot of people that hit me, they're
Yeah.
like one of the guys that asked a question, he posted a thing. He's a long haul driver, like long haul trucker, and he's just like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's cool to hear you guys just fucking around, and sometimes like all of a sudden just pivot into some serious shit, and then
Yeah.
sometimes not. So I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, this is me and you's phone conversations that we used to have. This is just
Yeah.
like a slightly more, official version of that. And
Yeah.
if nobody liked it, we would
Slightly.
probably, yeah, we would have just been
Yeah.
like, fuck it, this is stupid. But like
We're gonna
people,
be doing this like forever, and we'll probably blow up, but we'll be so like it'll just be the same shit. Nothing will change. You know what I
no,
mean? Yeah. And if it
no.
doesn't, we'll still do.
Hopefully get
Yeah.
out of this
Exactly.
this fucking one bedroom eventually, but who
Yeah.
knows. But yeah, I appreciate you guys listening. Please subscribe on YouTube. I it's in follow us on Twitter at Rare Candy Pod 1. We're definitely gonna have some merch coming soon. We're gonna be guests
Yeah.
on some podcasts coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
I got that lined up. And he's at Crypto Sci. I'm at Glenn Rockney. This is Rare Candy. Appreciate all the questions. And then yeah, we'll look forward to getting back to the regular stuff, getting some new guests on, stuff like that. So appreciate you guys.
There.